The vast expanse of the galaxy was once a peaceful and orderly place. Various alien civilizations coexisted in a delicate balance, each respecting the other's territories and cultures. However, this balance was about to be shattered by the most unlikely of forces: humanity. It all began with the arrival of the Terran Expeditionary Fleet in the Helios sector. The fleet, led by Admiral Jane Thorne, was on a mission of exploration and diplomacy. However, their sudden appearance in the territory of the Zarkoni Empire was seen as an act of aggression. The Zarkoni, a proud and warrior-like race, immediately declared war on the humans, believing them to be an easy target. Admiral Thorne, a seasoned and strategic leader, knew that diplomacy was off the table. The Zarkoni had made their decision clear, and now it was up to the humans to defend themselves. Thorne's fleet was vastly outnumbered, but she had one advantage that the Zarkoni did not: the indomitable spirit of humanity. As the Zarkoni warships approached, Thorne gave her orders. "All hands to battle stations. Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for the future of humanity. Show them what we're made of." The battle began with a barrage of plasma fire from the Zarkoni ships. The humans responded in kind, their advanced weaponry cutting through the enemy lines. Despite their technological prowess, the humans were still at a disadvantage. The Zarkoni ships were larger, more numerous, and heavily armored. On the bridge of the flagship, the eyes dauntless, Thorne watched the battle unfold. Her crew worked tirelessly, coordinating attacks and defenses with precision. She knew that the key to victory lay in outsmarting the enemy. "Commander Reyes, deploy the decoys. I want them to think we're retreating," Thorne ordered. Reyes nodded and relayed the command. Several unmanned drones were launched, mimicking the heat signatures of human ships. The Zarkoni took the bait, diverting their forces to pursue the decoys. "Now, focus all fire on their flagship," Thorne commanded. The Dauntless and its remaining fleet concentrated their firepower on the Zarkoni flagship. The ship's shields flickered and then failed, leaving it vulnerable to the human assault. A series of explosions rocked the enemy vessel, and it began to break apart. The Zarkoni, realizing their mistake, tried to regroup, but it was too late. The humans pressed their advantage, exploiting the chaos and confusion. One by one, the Zarkoni ships fell to the relentless human attack. As the last of the enemy vessels was destroyed, a cheer erupted on the Dauntless. Thorne allowed herself a brief smile. They had won the battle, but the war was far from over. News of the human victory spread quickly throughout the galaxy. Many alien races, previously unaware of humanity's capabilities, began to take notice. Some saw the humans as potential allies, while others viewed them as a growing threat. In the Zarkoni Empire, the loss was a bitter pill to swallow. Emperor Zarkon himself was furious. "How could we be defeated by such a primitive race?" he bellowed. General Kor, the leader of the Zarkoni forces, bowed his head in shame. "We underestimated them, my lord. Their tactics were unexpected." "Unexpected?" Zarkon roared. "I want those humans crushed. Mobilize the entire fleet. Show them the might of the Zarkoni Empire." Meanwhile, on Earth, the victory was celebrated as a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. Admiral Thorne was hailed as a hero, but she knew that the war was far from over. "We've made our stand, but the Zarkoni won't give up easily," Thorne said to her senior officers. "We need to prepare for their retaliation. Our best defense is a strong offense." In the following months, the Terran Federation ramped up its military production. New ships were built, and existing ones were upgraded with the latest technology. Human soldiers underwent rigorous training, honing their skills for the battles to come. The Zarkoni, true to their word, launched a massive counteroffensive. Fleets of warships poured into human space, seeking revenge for their earlier defeat. The battles that followed were fierce and brutal, with heavy losses on both sides. Yet time and again, the humans held their ground. Their adaptability and tenacity proved to be their greatest strengths. They learned from each encounter, refining their tactics and improving their technology. One pivotal battle took place in the Orion Nebula, where the Zarkoni had established a strategic stronghold. Admiral Thorne led a daring assault, using the nebula's dense gas clouds to mask the approach of her fleet. The Zarkoni were caught off guard, and the ensuing battle was a decisive victory for the humans. As the war dragged on, it became clear that the Zarkoni were not invincible. The other alien races watched with growing interest, some even offering their support to the human cause. Alliances were formed, and the balance of power in the galaxy began to shift. Finally, after years of relentless conflict, the Zarkoni Empire sued for peace. The humans had proven themselves to be a formidable opponent, one that could not be easily defeated. The peace treaty was signed aboard the IS Dauntless, with Admiral Thorne and Emperor Zarkon himself present. It was a momentous occasion, marking the end of a brutal war and the beginning of a new era in galactic relations. As the delegates left the ship, Thorne stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious. The galaxy would never be the same again. Peace had finally been achieved, but the galaxy was still reeling from the aftermath of the war. Human ingenuity and tenacity had reshaped the interstellar landscape, earning them both respect and fear from other civilizations. For Admiral Jane Thorne, the end of the war signaled a new beginning, one filled with the challenges of maintaining the fragile peace they had fought so hard to secure. Back on Earth, the Terran Federation wasted no time in solidifying its new role as a major galactic power. Diplomatic missions were dispatched to various alien worlds to foster alliances and rebuild trust. Meanwhile, the military continued to innovate, ensuring that humanity would never again be caught unprepared. Admiral Thorne was given a new mission: to lead the construction of a joint space station, aptly named Unity, where representatives from all major civilizations would come together to discuss matters of mutual interest and resolve conflicts peacefully. It was a bold step toward a cooperative future, one that Thorne was determined to see succeed. Unity Station was an impressive feat of engineering, a massive structure orbiting a neutral planet in the Helios sector. It was designed to accommodate the diverse needs of its inhabitants, with different sections catering to the specific environments required by each species. As construction neared completion, delegations from across the galaxy arrived to witness the grand opening. Admiral Thorne stood at the central observation deck, gazing out at the bustling activity below. Representatives from dozens of species mingled, sharing knowledge and forging new friendships. It was a sight she had scarcely imagined during the dark days of the war. "Admiral Thorne, the council meeting is about to begin," Commander Reyes said, approaching her. "Thank you, Commander. Let's make history," Thorne replied, turning to follow him. The council chamber was a grand circular room with a large hollow table at its center. Delegates took their seats, each one representing their respective civilizations. Thorne took her place at the head of the table, flanked by her senior officers. "Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed representatives, welcome to Unity Station," Thorne began. "We stand here today as a testament to what can be achieved when we set aside our differences and work together. This station is more than just a symbol. It's a commitment to a future where cooperation and understanding prevail over conflict." Emperor Zarkon, who had reluctantly become an advocate for peace after the war, was the first to speak. Admiral Thorne is right. The war taught us a harsh lesson about the cost of underestimating one another. It is my hope that we can build a future where such lessons are no longer necessary. The discussions that followed were intense but productive. Topics ranged from trade agreements and scientific collaborations to mutual defense pacts. There were disagreements, as expected, but the overall tone was one of cautious optimism. As the meetings progressed, a new challenge emerged. A mysterious threat had been detected in a distant sector of the galaxy, one that had the potential to destabilize the fragile peace they had worked so hard to achieve. Reports spoke of an unknown force, unlike anything they had encountered before, that was systematically destroying entire star systems. Admiral Thorne, this threat could undo everything we've accomplished, said General Kor, the Zarkoni military leader who had become a key ally. We must act swiftly and decisively. Thorne nodded. Agreed. But we can't face this alone. We need to unite our forces and resources to confront this menace. The Council debated the best course of action, ultimately deciding to form a joint task force comprised of ships and personnel from all member civilizations. Thorne was appointed as the commander of this new fleet, a testament to the trust and respect she had earned. Preparations began immediately. The task force, named the Galactic Defense Force, GDF, assembled at Unity Station. Ships of all shapes and sizes, each reflecting the unique technologies and cultures of their creators, came together in a show of unprecedented cooperation. As the fleet prepared to depart, Thorne addressed her crew. We face an unknown enemy, but we face it together. Our unity is our greatest strength. No matter what lies ahead, we will prevail. The journey to the affected sector was long and arduous. Along the way, the fleet encountered the remnants of destroyed worlds, stark reminders of the devastation wrought by the mysterious enemy. Tensions ran high, but Thorne's leadership kept the diverse group focused and united. Finally, they arrived at the heart of the disturbance. What they found was beyond anything they had imagined. A massive, seemingly sentient machine, driven by a relentless hunger for resources, was at the center of the destruction. It was a relic from a long-forgotten era, now awakened and wreaking havoc on the galaxy. All ships, prepare for battle, Thorne commanded. We must stop this machine before it reaches inhabited systems. The battle that ensued was unlike any other. The GDF faced a formidable opponent, but their combined might and diverse tactics proved to be a powerful counter. Human ingenuity, Zarkoni strength, and the unique capabilities of each member race came together in a symphony of destruction. Thorne's strategic brilliance shone through as she coordinated the attack, exploiting weaknesses in the machine's defenses and rallying her allies. After hours of intense fighting, the machine was finally disabled, its core rendered inert. Cheers erupted across the fleet. They had faced the unknown and emerged victorious. But Thorne knew that the true victory lay in their unity. Returning to Unity Station, the fleet was greeted as heroes. The Council reconvened, this time with a renewed sense of purpose and camaraderie. The crisis had proven that together, they could overcome any challenge. Today, we have shown that unity is not just an ideal, but a powerful reality. Thorne said in her closing address, "Let this be the foundation of a lasting peace, built on trust, cooperation, and the shared knowledge that we are stronger together." The story of humanity's resilience and the galaxy's newfound unity became a beacon of hope for all. As Unity Station continued to thrive, so too did the promise of a brighter future for every civilization in the galaxy. The Galactic Defense Forces, GEF, victory over the ancient machine had cemented the alliance between the various civilizations of the galaxy. Unity Station thrived as a center of diplomacy, innovation, and cooperation. However, peace in the galaxy was a delicate balance, and new challenges soon emerged. Admiral Jane Thorne found herself busier than ever, overseeing both the defense initiatives and the continuous diplomatic efforts on Unity Station. She was in her quarters, studying the latest reports, when Commander Reyes entered with urgent news. "Admiral, we've received a distress signal from the fringe colonies in the Sailor sector. It appears to be a new threat, unlike anything we've encountered before," Reyes said. Thorne frowned, setting the reports aside. "Patch it through." The holographic display showed a frantic message from a Sailor colony administrator. "This is Administrator Jax of the Sailor colony. We're under attack by an unknown force. They appeared out of nowhere, overwhelming our defenses. We need immediate assistance." Thorne stood up, determination in her eyes. "Commander Reyes, assemble the GDF. We're not going to let another threat disrupt the peace we've worked so hard to achieve." Within hours, the GDF fleet was ready for departure. Representatives from various civilizations joined Thorne on the bridge of the IS Dauntless, eager to face the new challenge together. As they approached the Sailor sector, the scale of the devastation became evident. Entire colonies had been razed, and debris floated ominously in the void. The enemy fleet, composed of sleek, dark ships with advanced cloaking technology, was unlike anything they had seen before. "Scan the area," Thorne ordered. "We need to know what we're dealing with." Lieutenant Kira, the Dauntless's tactical officer, quickly analyzed the data. "Admiral, these ships are using a form of adaptive technology. They can modify their structure and weapons based on the threat they face. It's like they're learning from each encounter." Thorne's mind raced. "We need to adapt faster. Signal the fleet to engage with hit-and-run tactics. Keep them off balance and prevent them from learning our strategies." The battle that followed was intense and chaotic. The enemy's adaptive technology made them formidable opponents, but the GDF's diverse tactics and the ingenuity of their commanders kept them from gaining the upper hand. Thorne directed the fleet with precision, exploiting every weakness and adapting to the enemy's changing strategies. Despite their best efforts, the GDF fleet began to take heavy losses. Thorne knew they needed a new approach. "Commander Reyes, prepare a boarding party. We need to get inside one of those ships and disable their adaptive core." Reyes nodded, assembling a team of elite soldiers and engineers. They launched a daring assault on one of the enemy vessels, managing to breach its defenses and infiltrate the ship. Inside, they discovered a complex network of biomechanical systems, controlled by a central core that seemed almost alive. "Admiral, we've located the adaptive core," Reyes reported. "But it's heavily guarded. We need backup." Thorne made a quick decision. "I'm coming with reinforcements. Hold your position." Leading a second wave of soldiers, Thorne boarded the enemy ship and fought her way to the core. The battle inside the ship was fierce, with the adaptive defenses constantly changing to counter their attacks. But Thorne's determination and tactical genius prevailed. Reaching the core, Thorne and Reyes worked together to disable it. As they shut down the core, the enemy ship began to lose its adaptive capabilities. The GDF fleet outside quickly took advantage, overwhelming the now vulnerable enemy vessels. With the adaptive fleet defeated, the GDF turned its attention to rescuing the survivors and rebuilding the devastated colonies. The victory was hard-won, but it reinforced the importance of their alliance and the strength they drew from their unity. Back on Unity Station, Thorne addressed the Council once more. "We have faced another great challenge, and emerged victorious. But this victory is not just ours. It belongs to every race and every individual who stood together against a common enemy. Let this be a reminder that our unity is our greatest weapon. Emperor Zarkon, now a staunch advocate for peace and cooperation, stood and applauded. Admiral Thorn is right. We must continue to strengthen our bonds and remain vigilant. Only together can we ensure the safety and prosperity of all our worlds. As the council members echoed Zarkon's sentiments, Thorn felt a sense of hope for the future. The galaxy had been through much, but each trial had brought them closer together. She knew there would be more challenges ahead, but with the strength of their alliance, they were ready for anything. Unity Station continued to thrive, a beacon of hope and cooperation in the galaxy. The GDF remained vigilant, ever ready to defend the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. And Admiral Jane Thorn, a symbol of human resilience and leadership, stood at the forefront, guiding them towards a brighter future. The defeat of the adaptive fleet had solidified the Alliance's strength, but Admiral Jane Thorn knew that maintaining peace required constant vigilance. Unity Station was bustling with activity, a symbol of hope and cooperation for the entire galaxy. However, a sense of unease lingered. Thorn couldn't shake the feeling that another challenge was on the horizon. Her instincts proved correct when an encrypted transmission arrived from an unknown source. The message, sent in a mix of alien languages, warned of an impending invasion by a force known as the Harbingers. The Harbingers were a legendary race, believed to have vanished millennia ago, known for their destructive conquests and advanced technology. Thorn convened an emergency council meeting. The holographic chamber filled with representatives from the allied races, all sharing a sense of urgency. Admiral Thorn, who are these Harbingers? Asked General Kor, his usually stoic demeanor showing signs of concern. They're a race from ancient history, believed to have the power to lay waste to entire civilizations. Thorn explained, this message warns that they are returning, and they intend to reclaim the galaxy. The council erupted in worried murmurs. Emperor Zarkon raised a hand to call for silence. We have faced dire threats before and prevailed. We must stand united against this new enemy. Thorn nodded. Our best chance is to gather intelligence and prepare our defenses. We need to understand their strengths and weaknesses. I propose sending a reconnaissance mission to locate the Harbingers and assess their threat. The council agreed, and a team was quickly assembled. Thorn chose Captain Elias, one of her most trusted officers, to lead the mission. The reconnaissance ship, the Intrepid, set out into uncharted space, equipped with the latest stealth technology. As the Intrepid ventured deeper into unknown territory, they encountered remnants of civilizations destroyed long ago, evidence of the Harbinger's previous conquests. The crew's anxiety grew with each discovery, but Captain Elias remained focused on the mission. Finally, the Intrepid located the Harbinger fleet. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Massive ships, bristling with advanced weaponry, and surrounded by an eerie, pulsating energy field. Elias gathered as much data as possible before ordering a retreat, narrowly avoiding detection. Back at Unity Station, Thorn and her team analyzed the data. The Harbinger's technology was far more advanced than anything they had encountered before. They possessed energy weapons capable of disintegrating matter and shields that adapted to any attack. We need a new strategy, Thorn said, addressing her officers. Conventional tactics won't work against them. We need to find a way to disrupt their energy fields and neutralize their weapons. The brightest minds from across the allied races collaborated, developing new technologies and strategies. They designed a prototype weapon, the disruptor cannon, capable of emitting a pulse that could destabilize the Harbinger's energy fields. Meanwhile, engineers worked tirelessly to enhance the GDF ship's defenses. As the Harbingers approached, the GDF fleet gathered in the Illyrian Nebula, a strategic location chosen for its dense gas clouds that could provide cover. Thorn stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, her expression resolute. "This is it," she said, addressing the fleet. "The Harbingers believe they can conquer us, but we will show them the strength of our unity. Remember, we fight not just for our survival, but for the future of the galaxy." The Harbinger fleet emerged from the nebula, their ships cutting through the gas clouds like dark phantoms. The battle began with a thunderous exchange of fire. The GDF fleet employed hit-and-run tactics, using the nebula for cover and launching surprise attacks. Thorn coordinated the fleet's movements, adapting their strategies in real time to counter the Harbinger's adaptive defenses. The disruptor cannons proved effective, destabilizing the enemy shields and creating openings for concentrated attacks. Despite their advanced technology, the Harbingers were unprepared for the level of cooperation and ingenuity displayed by the Allied forces. The battle was fierce, with heavy losses on both sides, but the tide began to turn in favor of the GDF. As the flagship Harbinger vessel, a colossal dreadnought, came into view, Thorn knew this was their chance to end the threat once and for all. "All ships, focus your fire on the dreadnought. We need to bring it down." The GDF fleet converged on the dreadnought, bombarding it with everything they had. The disruptor cannons pulsed, weakening its shields. Explosions rocked the enemy vessel as it began to break apart. In a final desperate move, the Harbingers attempted to activate a weapon of unimaginable power, intending to take the entire fleet with them. Thorn made a quick decision. "Commander Reyes, prepare the Dauntless for a ramming maneuver. We need to stop that weapon." Reyes looked shocked but nodded. The Dauntless charged forward, evading enemy fire and colliding with the dreadnought. The impact caused a massive explosion, neutralizing the Harbinger's weapon and crippling their flagship. The remaining Harbinger ships, now leaderless and disorganized, were quickly dispatched by the GDF fleet. The battle was won, but at great cost. The Dauntless, though heavily damaged, had survived thanks to the bravery and sacrifice of its crew. Back at Unity Station, the galaxy celebrated the victory. The threat of the Harbingers had been eliminated, and the bonds between the allied races had been strengthened even further. In a grand ceremony, Admiral Thorn was honored for her leadership and courage. She addressed the gathered crowd, her voice filled with pride and hope. "We have faced unimaginable challenges and emerged victorious because we stood together. Let this victory remind us that our greatest strength lies in our unity. As long as we remain united, there is no threat we cannot overcome." The galaxy had been forever changed by the events of the past years. Unity Station stood as a beacon of hope, a testament to what could be achieved through cooperation and mutual respect. And Admiral Jane Thorn, a symbol of humanity's resilience and leadership, continued to guide them toward a brighter future. War with humans? Well, good luck indeed. For now, it was clear that with unity and determination, they could face any threat and build a lasting peace in the galaxy.